Okay, we've covered most of these things. Got a couple more that I want to share with you. The first one, or the next one that I want to go with is not this ridiculous little fleece blanket that I keep in my pickup, but an item that I learned about from Cold Cracker Bushcraft, another one of my favorite YouTube channels. Cold Cracker has excellent videos on all types of bushcrafting and survival type things. If you have a chance, go over to his channel and check it out. Bushcraft. That's again Cold Cracker, COALCRACKER, Bushcraft. And what this is a cloak pin. And what it does for me is, if I'm out in the cold and I have a blanket but I don't have a coat, or I want to go over the top of my coat like I have with my lovely Santa coat here, I can simply take this blanket, wrap it around me, and instead of having to walk around holding it, this cloak pin then goes through as a good bushcrafter. You have a nice wool coat or wool blanket. I simply put the pin in this cloak pin through my blanket, my cloak. I put it through the division between the loop, and then I simply slide the loop around, and that holds it in place for me. So you can imagine if I had a nice, huge, warm wool blanket that I wanted to keep around me, either over my head or around my shoulders, I can put that cloak pin on there, hold it in place, and have a shoulder wrap that'll keep a lot of that body warmth in during the time that I'm out in the wilderness. Really kind of a fun thing to have with you. Takes up almost no space, weighs very little. They come in various sizes. This is one of the bigger ones, but I'll put a link to these so you can get one for you. Tuck it away in your bushcraft bag, in your bug out bag, in your Mary Poppins bag. I've got these in our Mary Poppins bags, and it will provide you with the option of wrapping something around your shoulders and holding it in place without having to use your hands. 2 more items. So we've gone through 10. We've gone through 10 days of Christmas. We're going to go through number 11 and 12. Go ahead and get this off because I'm plenty warm. I don't need to have the cloak on. Lay this aside. And the next item is, again, a knife. Now, we looked at these basic Mora knives, and I love these basic Mora knives. They're fantastic. They come with a nice plastic sheath that holds the knife in well. I typically, as I have with this one, will put a Ranger band around the top of that so that I can slip that over the top and secure that a little bit better. But when I carry a Mora, I typically do an upgrade to the Mora Companion. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out one of these, and you can kind of see the difference. There isn't a lot of difference in the blade. The blades are fairly similar. Looks like the Companion's a little bit longer blade, but the same high carbon steel, the same opportunity to strike sparks off from it. Again, you have to modify the back, the spine of the knife to get that nice 90-degree angle, so you've got something to strike with. But if you look at the handle, that's where the main differences are, and it's essentially right here in this finger guard. The Companion still has a finger guard. It still has something to push against with your finger, but it isn't as pronounced. And what that does for you is it provides you with the ability. Now, this Companion comes with a plastic sheath, almost identical to the ones that come with the basic knife. And it's a great sheath. You can use it for all kinds of things. But what I typically do, I will go ahead and go out. Again, I'll put a link to the Mora Companion, but I'll also put a link to this nice leather sheath that goes with it. You'll notice there's a lot of difference in color between my sheath that I use and have used all for the last year and the sheath that comes from the factory. That's because I've put probably 7 or 8 coats of leather honey. Another product that I will put in the links for this, kind of a bonus product that I use on all of my leather. It is a combination of, I believe, some natural oils combined with some beeswax, and puts a wonderful finish on especially dry leather. The leather drinks it up, loves it. It makes it somewhat waterproof, makes it much more supple, makes it'll last a whole lot longer, and it'll accept your knife. Now, here is the Mora Companion. I'm going to go ahead and just open up this plastic wrap. The Mora Companion, as I said, comes with the plastic sheath, a lot like the sheath that comes with the basic Mora, and comes with a bright and shiny blade. Actually, this particular Mora Companion is an actual stainless steel blade. I purchased a couple of those because I like to give gifts, and some of my friends don't like to have a blade that they've got to be concerned with oiling and taking care of. They want the stainless steel. But that stainless steel blade or the high carbon blade, again, I'll take a few minutes, and with a file in my vise, I'll square off that to a 90-degree angle so I can use it to scrape. And then with a little bit of conditioning to this leather sheath, this Mora Companion rides in that leather sheath in a way that you don't have to worry about losing it, but it's easy to access. That one's a little tight because it hasn't been conditioned, but you see that mine is just perfect. Slides in and out of there. You have a great knife. Now, I told you that these were an upgrade. These Mora Basics cost anywhere from about $9.75 to about $10.50. That's typically the price of these basics. If you want to go big spender, you can go for the upgrade. A little longer blade, a little more convenient handle, and the option to put it in a leather sheath, and go with the Mora Companion, and you're going to be spending the whopping amount of something less than $14, typically about $13.50 for this Mora Companion. So still an incredible deal, an incredible gift to give to somebody. When you combine it with the extremely expensive $11 to $12 leather Mora Companion sheath, that, by the way, is lined with Kydex so that your blade isn't going to be cutting the leather. So you have a Kydex leather sheath and a Mora Companion for under $25. What a great gift to give somebody who can appreciate the value of a quality knife. All right, we've gone through 11 of the items. Again, on all 11 of those items, I will be including links so that you can go directly to those links and make those purchases and enjoy these wonderful products. So now, the last product I want to share with you is the product of my own making. Again, you've seen this in my previous videos. This is the FatBoy, appropriate time of the year, FatBoy Fatwood Ferrocerium rod by Sawtooth Bushcraft. The value of this is pretty evident. I've got a piece of my ever-present granite here. Get it away from my fur. And remember I talked about that I grind off the back of these Mora knives? That is so that I can do this type of thing. By using that instead of the blade, the front of my blade, I'm saving that resource. And even though I've got the ability to sharpen that blade fairly simply, this isn't going to get dull. I mean, if I do this long enough, I may have to square off the back of that, but this will give me plenty of scrape for this. So I had a person call this the other day wood lint. I thought that was a great way to describe it. You want something that is way closer to sawdust than to shavings. And I've put together just a small pile of those shavings. And with that small pile of those shavings, the back of my knife, there we go. Get a little bit of that oxidation off there. Oh, didn't take much. And I've got fire. So, FatBoy Fatwood Ferrocerium rod can provide you with hundreds, if not thousands, of lights. And these typically are sold by Sage the Sawtooth Bushcraft for $20. Right now at the Christmas season, we are selling them for $15, including shipping and handling. With this description, I'll also put in my email address and a way for you to link into my PayPal account, or I have the ability to take credit cards through a law pay system. You look at the books behind me. Mr. Miner, not the big guy, Santa Claus. Mr. Miner is an attorney, and he can take your credit cards or purchases by PayPal for $15, including shipping and handling, and you can have these for another great stocking stuffer. I promised that I would try one last thing, and that is this. We'll get rid of these. If you remember, the very first product I pulled out was the survival cord. Pull it over here. That survival cord is got all of the products, or all of the components in it, including this jute or hemp, or I'm not sure, I think it might be cotton, but I think that it's one of those two. If I take that and I really scrape it up, and I turn it into just a whole bunch of feathery, loose material. You see kind of how I've done that. And then if I hold my mouth right, once again, just like that, I've got a fire. 3 inches of that that survival cord provided me with a way to get a fire started. If I had my other tinder ready, or if I simply scraped up more of that, maybe 6 inches of it, and created a little nest, another way to start a fire that I have with me at all times, another reason that this survival cord is great, and yet another reason to have your FatBoy Fatwood Ferrocerium rod from Sage Sawtooth Bushcraft. Now, folks, just want to once again thank you for your time. Thank you for all of your support so far. We have passed 5,000 views, and that has been a wonderful thing, particularly when we only started back in September. We're very happy with how things are going. We wish you and your family a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, joyous Kwanzaa, however you celebrate this time of the year. We hope it is a wonderful, family-filled time in this year. Speaking of family, you have an obligation to be prepared and to take care of your family. And I've provided you with a few gifts that can make a huge difference in that are fun gifts. It's not simply a survivalist thing that you stick in the corner and 20 years later wonder why you bought it. These are all items that you can use on a regular basis, all items that are going to put a smile on anybody's face that you know and love, and all items that you're going to be able to use when you're camping, when you're out in the wilderness, when you are with friends and family, even if it's just you're trying to start a fire for a backyard barbecue. Again, I want to thank you. Thank you from Sage the Sawtooth Bushcraft. The big guy in the white suit with the white beard, or the red suit with the white beard, wishes you a Merry Christmas. And on behalf of Clinton Miner from Sage the Sawtooth Bushcraft, remember, if you're prepared, you're never really lost. Merry Christmas.